Namaskar. Hello and welcome to P Guru's channel. I'm your host Sri Iyer. We could not bring you our conversation with Shekhar Iyer yesterday because I was traveling, but I'm back in my studio and here is Shekhar Iyer ji, a day late, but the news is just a spot. Shekhar ji, namaskar and welcome to P Guru's channel.
Namaskar, Shreyaji. Nice to be back with you.
Sir, I've heard of Harbhajan Singh, having a dusra, which I am told is a leg spinner in the action of an off spinner. And then he invented a tisra, which is supposed to be like an off spinner in the leg spinner action of an off spinner. Mr. Sharad Pawar, I'm afraid, may have a chautha, panchwa, chatwa, and satwa. What is the googly he's playing, sir? What exactly is going on?
Sir, I do not know exactly what kind of googly, but I am just reminded of a veteran journalist under whom I had the good fortune of beginning my career. He used to tell me the maxim to be followed in journalism is don't believe anything until it is denied. So you have seen several denials after denials by Sharad Pawar, but nobody is willing to believe. And today, even Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, the great Congress party, even his great friend Uddhav Thackeray, and even greater friend Sanjay Raut, none of them are willing to believe what he is saying, that he has no plans with his nephew Ajit Pawar to topple this newly named alliance, and that he is very much with them, and that he hates the enforcement directorate as much as they all do, because that is his latest statement to show that he's still on their side. Otherwise, it just refuses to die down that Sharad Pawar is as innocent as that cat which we thought would never drink milk. As they say in Tamil, whether in the Pune Pal Kudikubane. So, but this Pune has drunk several liters of milk all through his career. So you can so nothing is final about Sharad Pawar. The whole problem is this is the same pattern we saw in 1978. After Indira Gandhi had lost elections and Vasant Patil was chief minister, till the last moment he kept saying he's with Vasant Dada, who was actually one of his mentors. But then
Mentors, yes.
yeah, but then, like YB Chawad, Vasant, they were all giants, Congress stalwarts of Maharashtra. But then the next day he switched sides and he became the youngest chief minister of Maharashtra. So one can never be sure about him. Of course, age has played a lot of havoc on his style and his thinking and all that. But still, the quintessential Sharad Pawar remains as such. But this time, sir, there is a lot of worry in the Congress. Previously they believed that Ajit Pawar, Sharad Pawar gap can never be. But after the fourth meeting in Pune, at the residence of a leading businessman, and they spent more than 3 hours as if they were long lost relatives who were meeting after a lapse of time or a lapse of an era, because they went on for 3.5 hours, and then Sharad Pawar left uh, without being seen in the company of Ajit Pawar, whom I was told was exited through another door to avoid the media glare. But the sum and substance was we heard from former Maharashtra Chief Minister Prithviraj Chavan, who was still other day, always seen around Sharad Pawar after this revolt, and but who is generally not very favorably disposed towards Sharad Pawar, because Sharad Pawar was not very happy when he was Chief Minister of Maharashtra. That is, I'm referring to Prithviraj Chavan. So Prithviraj Chavan, started telling the media, look, I have solid information that there is a proposal which Ajit Pawar has discussed with his uncle Sharad Pawar, which is a cabinet berth, preferably the Ministry of Agriculture for Sharad Pawar, some accommodation, probably again a ministerial berth for his daughter Supriya Sule, or he can even take over as the ceremonial chairperson of the Niti Aayog, which is the new avatar of the earlier planning commission, and he can enjoy a cabinet status. And this thing caught on. I mean, you had strategy sessions by Congress, you had strategy sessions by Shiv Sena, and then there was a talk of a plan B. If Sharad Pawar exits, let us be ready with the plan B, which would ultimately become the plan A if he leaves. And And despite the fact that soon after that meeting, within few hours, Sharad Pawar clarified that this is only this is a meeting between. I mean, how can I be prevented from meeting my relatives? That to my nephew, and that to Ajit Pawar. So nothing should be seen into it, and nothing is big. But then the criticism from the Congress, criticism from even Shiv Sena, Uddhav Bal Thackeray was very serious. Even Sabna wrote a piece saying that this kind of confusion must stop. And Sanjay Raut, who is always known as the mouthpiece of Sharad Pawar, though despite being in Shiv Sena, he also said, "Look, this. They have to explain this. This cannot go on." Basically, very put off by Sharad Pawar's action, because this is coming just few days ahead of this another grand meeting they are planning to have, August 31st and 1st. At first, they are planning a public rally of all the I.N.D.I.A. leaders in Mumbai. So therefore, and this thing has upset them so much. And yesterday, when Sharad Pawar was in Aurangabad, which is now called Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar, he spoke a lot on this. He's saying, "Look, what proposal? Who brought proposal? I'm such a senior leader. Who can bring me a proposal?" And all this talk. And then he says, "Look, today politics is different. Politics is driven by not by politicians but by agencies like Enforcement Directorate, in order to play some music to the ears of the Congress and Shiv Sena." But and Ajit Pawar also, soon after the meeting, on this part, he also said there is nothing in this. And Devendra Fadnavis also said, "Look," and then constantly said, the media in Maharashtra and as well as politicians in Maharashtra have been constantly speculating two, three things. One is that is again coming from people close to Sanjay Raut and from the Shiv Sena belonging to uh, Uddhav Thackeray, that Eknath Shinde may fall sick within quote unquote, and he will be in hospital for 2 months. That's the period when Ajit Pawar will take charge as CM. This is one speculation that is creating havoc. And a cheeky Sanjay Raut went on to suggest, choose a good hospital so that your stay is comfortable. That is one. And the second speculation is, of course, what we just mentioned, Sharad Pawar coming, and along with that speculation about Sharad Pawar, blessing the NDA. There is a talk of Ajit Pawar being given a mission that if you have to become CM, you have to get your uncle along. So therefore, it is related to the first one, that Ajit Pawar take over as CM. Now, the third speculation, which is the latest, sir, which I would like to share with our P Guru viewers, is that Devendra Fadnavis is being sounded to contest the Lok Sabha elections from Nagpur. Now, this will mean that effectively he will shift to the center, because he's a person with a vast experience, a senior person, and he has done so much for the change of regime, and then he should not be seen as working either under Eknath Shinde or under Ajit Pawar. Now, on this also there is a lot of speculation. Some people who are great supporters of Devendra Fadnavis, they feel, look, no, this is not the right thing. He should be here till the next assembly election. He should not shift. But often there has been a talk that Devendra Fadnavis will shift to the center, get a key portfolio, and the Prime Minister Modi is looking for young, fresh faces, people, and who also have, or who have the additional plus point with them is that they have vast experience, administrative experience. And if you have been a Chief Minister of Maharashtra, you are generally considered that you have developed the tactics and ability and capability to handle most complicated administrative and government matters. So this three speculation, of course, this talk has been that, I mean, on a national level, BJP is looking at bringing more generational leaders, rather younger generation leaders, to move to the center, so that the younger ones can take charge in the respective state. That's a typical Modi approach, not just that 75%, 75 age cutoff. I mean, that people at 75 should bid goodbye. There's no hard and fast rule. Well, so all these
There's no
speculations,
rule, sir.
there's no rule. But Well, you have Margdarshak Mandal, you have people who have been forced to retire, as they would say. So, in this background and scenario, things are getting very, very exciting.
Sir, we have a phrase in America for that. It's called gently letting somebody down. So that when they fall, the landing is soft. That is what is Margadarshak Mandal. But viewers, I have a couple of stories. I don't know if this is true or not because this has come in the vernacular press. And I'm just going to share it with you. Mr. Sharad Pawar, Mr. Ajit Pawar, he didn't use his own car to go to this industrialist house where Sharad Pawar is there. So he uses somebody else's car, and then he knows that the media is camped in front of the building because they saw Sharad Pawar going. Or maybe, see, with Sharad Pawar, I told you, right, Chautha, Panchwa, Chatwa, he could have even tipped off the press and saying something is going to happen. So what happens is, Ajit Pawar comes in this other car, and this other car, he is actually lying down prone completely in the back seat. So that when the car comes into this person's industrialist house, media feels like it's just a blank car coming in. Everything would have been fine. They would have probably found a way to whisk him inside, except there is one small problem. The car went and crashed into the building instead of stopping. Okay, so suddenly this man sits up with a bolt and the media is right in front of him.
But I didn't see
That's how.
any snaps, because if the media men would not have missed that opportunity to record
Sir,
it
we
for
don't
posterity.
know. Somebody was there, eyewitness account, and then well, that means the cat was out of the bag. So they made it look like he was actually coming to meet his uncle. You
No, sir.
see,
But I do agree with you that tip-off part, because
yeah.
normally I find all these meetings are they never remain secret, or they are never intended to remain secret. So you can see that the media gets full coverage of all this kind of meetings, and I mean, can you imagine politics in a huge state like Maharashtra is so much worried about a meeting between an uncle and a nephew? I mean, this is rather too much. We haven't seen that kind of excitement over Shashikala meeting TTV Dilakaran, or TTV Dilakaran meeting Shashikala. But here,
Yes, yes, yes.
there is so much of excitement about uncle and aunt and nephew and niece and cousins.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And viewers, please like this video. The reason is I'm going to go back and ask Shekharji to jog his memory as to how Pawar lost the 1991 prime ministerial bid. He'll keep this thing in the back of his mind while he's answering other questions. We'll come back to that. But that's only if you guys like this video. You have to like this video because we have some interesting stuff. I have some recollections. Again, my data will be all full of holes. Shekharji was right there. He was a ringside viewer. He can give us some idea. By the way, I have not rehearsed this with Shekharji. He doesn't know this question is coming. So if he says, I don't remember fully, I don't believe that. He has the memory of an elephant. He will tell us what happened. But that's okay. Next question is, what is going to be happening to the 2024 elections? Sir, one thing unusual I saw about Modi's speech. Modi's speech, usually the Independence Day address is sort of like a report card for what has happened in the last 1 year. This is done, this is done. These are the kamnaएं, these are the challenges. This, ye banana hai, wo banana hai. If I were to quote Rajiv Gandhi, banana republic statements. But the last 7 to 8 minutes, Modi really tore into the opposition and Vamshwad. Sir, how will he explain in a theoretical press conference if somebody were to ask him, what about Amit Shah and Jai Shah?
Well, I'm trying to presume what would be the answer. I mean, there are two things: whether Modi would answer that question. Secondly, if he were to answer that question, he would definitely, because this is also being mentioned by the friends of the Congress and friends of the left and so-called the liberal. They keep pointing out. In fact, they try to dig out all the people who have done well in their respective field. But the Modi's answer would be he is not in politics. That he is not in politics. Of course, running a BCCI is as good as being a chief minister of a state. I don't dispute that. But the answer would be that if one presumes that his Jai Shah's assumption of an authority, the BCCI has a lot to do with his father. but it is not in politics. And to that extent, sir, a lot of BJP leaders themselves are very unhappy. Like, for instance, you take Rajnath. Rajnath and his son Pankaj Singh. Pankaj Singh has been around for now almost donkey's years. And the problem has been when Rajnath Singh was president of the party, he didn't want to encourage Pankaj getting any place. I mean, getting a ministerial job either in Uttar Pradesh or anywhere, because at that time it was felt no, he cannot. As a BJP president, he cannot be seen as encouraging his son directly. That subsequently, what we have seen with arrival of Modi, Modi has been very quite clear that if the father is holding up office in the government, then the son cannot be holding a similar position either in the party or in the government. So that has, because you have had situations like Tamil Nadu, where father is chief minister, son is deputy chief minister, as in the case of Kalaignar Karunanidhi and M.K. Stalin. Now again, in the case of Stalin also, Stalin is chief minister and Udayanithi is a de facto deputy chief minister or even chief minister. So this kind of thing is not there. And the biggest example is Congress party. And the other argument that is often given by the BJP is, look, here you are not sure who after JP Nadda. Just as when Rajnath Singh was the president of the party when Modi became prime minister. Now, after and Amit Shah was one of the general secretaries who handled Uttar Pradesh. Since Uttar Pradesh, because of his work, BJP did very well in Uttar Pradesh. Amit Shah was elevated as BJP president. And after that, Amit Shah, continued for both as a home minister and for a few months. Then JP Nadda was chosen. Now JP Nadda's term ended in January of this year. And it has been extended till the Lok Sabha elections of 2024. So after that, you could have anybody. So they keep saying, look, here there is no family succession order. There is no inheritance. But in Congress party, howsoever they may, conduct an election in where the favorite is Mallikarjun Kharge, the power, the authority is Rahul Gandhi. And already there is a lot of clamor within the party that just as Rahul Gandhi took over as Congress president after the elections, gave a good result for Congress in Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh in 2018. Similarly, if the party does well this time, Rahul Gandhi should take over. There is nothing stopping Rahul Gandhi again becoming Congress president. Or if the Congress manages to form a government in 2024, after 2024 or after, let us say, 2029, whichever is the case, nothing stops except his own volition. His own Ichha Shakti will give the result. It's entirely up to Rahul Gandhi. And all that the mother is doing is to ensure that whatever hurdles that come and go in the place where the Rahul Gandhi should be, the mother is at work, despite her repeated, averments to the fact that she's not well, she wants to retire, she can't take too much load, but she's there all the time. That's why people keep saying, look, the story is being built about the fragility of Sonia's health is largely political rather than medical, because she is there whenever is required, and whenever she feels things are coming apart, then she's there. That is how she's back. But that is not the case with BJP. I mean, this would be a long winding answer if Modi chooses to explain.
Yes, indeed. And we have been at least we may not have put words in his mouth, but we have already painted out a theoretical scenario for all of you guys. So to some extent, BJP does prevent this family stuff from coming in. Although there are many sons who have MLA seats and MP seats and so on and so forth. That's okay. Be that as it may be. Sometimes what you have to do is they'll say, also they get the sequence wrong. Samadhan, Bhed, Dand. Dand is the worst form. Many people confuse that and say Samadhan, Dand, Bhed. Guys, if you have to quote a proverb, please do it correctly. Chanakya said, Samadhan, Bhed, Dand. Just 2 seconds of gyan here. Sir, actor Akshay Kumar. What is this Akshay Kumar or Modi ki jodi, sir? Dharamveer ki jodi. What's going on?
I think a lot. Otherwise, Akshay Kumar, who is Oh My God 2, OMG 2, is again doing very well in the box office. It has just got released. And because in 2019, the run up to the 2019 elections, Akshay Kumar was one of the chosen few who interviewed Prime Minister Modi. He asked him a lot of questions, and he has been part of several government campaigns, whether it is sanitary napkins, it was saying no to tobacco.
Ad
There are several
ban. Yeah.
campaigns. Yeah, a lot of those ad
Yeah.
cams, campaigns, he has been part of it. And then most of his films also have a strong nationalistic fervor. I mean, all his films, and which fit in with what people would say is the BJP's narrative or BJP's ideological inclinations. Now, at a time when after at a time when he was seen as backing Prime Minister Modi and coming in support of some of the schemes, whether it is vaccination for COVID or anything else like that, they would always say, look, this guy is a Canadian citizen. Why is he talking about India? Why is he backing Prime Minister Modi? He is not an Indian citizen. I mean, to say that, look, and there is a background to when he took over. He took up Canadian citizenship. That was sometime in 1990, when his after one or two films, he felt that he was not making it big in the Bollywood career, and that he had several hurdles to really hit big. That's the time when he was advised by his friends to, seek Canadian citizenship, like the dream of most young people of that period, or even today in that belt, particularly Punjab, Delhi, Haryana, that belt has a lot of inclination towards Kannada chalo, Kannada. They always say Kannada.
Canada.
Ah, so he is a typical Delhi boy. I mean, he grew up in Delhi, old Delhi, so he has a lot of roots in Delhi. And uh, though his citizenship belonged to Canada, he was all the time here because he was shooting films here, he was busy here. and and they say that between him and his uh, better self, that is Twinkle Khanna, who is the daughter of Rajesh Khanna. Twinkle is rather always a more liberal, not exactly anti BJP, but definitely her approach is not in support of the current dispensation. So, the joke used to be like between them, one is with the government, the other is with the opposition. But this time, sir, I feel that there is definitely something to it, because for him to give up the citizenship and announce it on August 15th, that he has given it up, and to even go on the social media, post picture of his passport, that means a lot. And I have a indication, I would say, from some people in the BJP who say, look, this can't be ruled out. Definitely, he could be fielded in Delhi itself, because Delhi has 7 Lok Sabha seats. All the 7 are held by the BJP today, and the Aam Aadmi Party is waiting to, show its popularity even in Lok Sabha elections, because Arvind Kejriwal nurtures national ambitions despite all the current setbacks. So there are people who are also saying, look, his role may not be just Lok Sabha elections. So after the Lok Sabha elections, you are going to have Delhi elections in 2025. So there is a possibility he may become a face of the Delhi campaign. The problem for BJP in Delhi is that Delhi has the electorate has changed, the demography has changed. Previously, BJP could count on people who came and settled in Delhi after the partition. Many of them from Punjab. I mean, Punjab part of Pakistan. So the BJP support base was largely people who came from there. But demography Delhi changed, and you had a lot of people flocking to Delhi from states like Bihar, from eastern Uttar Pradesh, and which changed the character of the politics in Delhi. So you had more Purvanchalis in Delhi, which required the Punjabi domination in the politics of Delhi took a backseat. Your Kamal Nath, your Jagdish Taitla, your Madan Lal Khurana, and Vijay Kumar Malhotra, they were the leaders when the Punjab PF of BJP was a USP. But today it has changed. You need leaders from Purvanchal. Now, in this, to break this jinx, which has been very difficult, because AAP managed to get a lot of leaders from the people who belong to this Purvanchal section, at least in the second level and third, because Arvind Kejriwal himself belongs to Rohtak. He is from Haryana. And what you are seeing is the BJ has been constantly looking for a face, a face that will cut across these community lines. And Akshay Khanna, I'm speculating on this, could fit
Akshay
the bill,
Kumar.
because he has a film personality. He's popular. His films are doing very well. And then Akshay Kumar rather, uh, and Akshay Kumar has a Punjabi background. So, but Punjabi background, but who is a Pakka Delhiite, Delhi wala. So there is a lot to it. Otherwise, he wouldn't have taken such a pain, because if you have to prove your credentials as a proud son of Bharat Mata, then it has to be more than just change of citizenship.
Yes, indeed. I'm reminded of this Tata
Sir,
Docomo
I want to
ad.
add something. Sir, I want to add
Yeah, yeah,
something.
go
I mean,
ahead.
since we are talking about Delhi, sir, after the passage of the Delhi Services Bill, for which Congress went out, ignored its own internal voices and gave support, but the bill got passed. It could not be stopped. And Arvind Kejriwal extracted that support from the Congress. But still, that government managed the numbers and the bill was passed. Now it's an act of parliament and it has been given assent. Now, there are certain things happening, sir. Amit Shah, in the course of piloting the bill in parliament, said, look, this newfound alliance between Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress would not last. Once the bill is passed, it may collapse. Now, what I'm not sure whether that is what exactly is happening, but there is definitely a change of chemistry. Yesterday, that is August 16th, was Arvind Kejriwal's birthday. And guess who wished him on that day? It was none other than the
No
Prime
idea.
Minister himself. And and his minister now, who is handling the civil services, is Atishi. Now, yesterday she has made noises to indicate, look, even though they have challenged the ordinance, which has now become a bill, and that ordinance and this bill, I mean, the act that has come are, there are a lot of differences. And so she said, look, we are going to work with this new act, though we have challenged it, which means she's also extending an olive branch. Rather, she has been told to extend olive branch, which goes to show that Kejriwal would like to get on with business in Delhi, because he cannot keep this, he can be in a confrontation mood. Now, this development along with Maharashtra, so also raises question. Of course, Arvind Kejriwal will not forgive BJP or Prime Minister Modi easily, because two of his close colleagues, Satyendra Jain and Manish Sisodia, but there is a lot of talk that Manish Sisodia may ultimately get a bail in September next month, that is, and may come out. If all that happens, look, the nothing is permanent in politics, and Kejriwal would try to have some working relationship, because he has to do some more work in Delhi before he can hope for a good result. Of course, BJP, there is no change of tone from BJP, accepting the courtesies like the Prime Minister wishing him on his birthday.
Sir, one thing that I'm reminded of, in the 90s when cell phone was becoming really popular, Docomo had a very nice set of ads with, what's his name? Ranbir Kapoor. Ranbir, I think his name is Ranbir Kapoor. Yeah, Ranbir Kapoor. And one of those things is, he says that cell phone company और माए दोनों एक ही तरह होते हैं, उनको ना का मतलब ही पता नहीं है. So then he'll go on to say how his mom keeps pestering, ele aloo ke parathe, ele mooli ke parathe. So like that, the Delhiites are being fed a series of politicians. Ele Kiran Bedi, again same equation like you said. Ele Akshay Kumar. I don't know when they are going to lay it. We will wait and see. We are just laypersons.
Yeah, no, but sir, they say nothing is impossible in politics, and politics is art of the possible. Now, all these things, which of course they have been said over and over and again, but they do have some import, because anything is possible. That's why, and I'm told that even in Maharashtra, sir, the fact that the Congress leaders in Maharashtra are talking more against this Pawar, Ajit Pawar kind of interactions, probably that is coming from the Congress High Command, because Rahul is not too happy that a senior person in Sharad Pawar is still sending mixed signals, which is really disheartening at a time when we have hardly 6 months are left, and we should be projecting a strong front. Because this Mumbai meeting, sir, August 31st, where I am told they are going to come with some kind of a dhacha or a structure for these opposition alliance, which will see Sonia Gandhi as the chairperson of the alliance, and probably two or three vice persons that would include Mamata Banerjee, it will include MK Stalin, and Nitish Kumar could be the convener. And but I'm told there are a lot of Congress leaders who are also keen that they take up the role of joint convener or something like that, because this is entirely a Congress managed alliance, rather Congress administered alliance, I would say, because they don't want to leave it to chance any further. So this is one thing. And but in Bengal, sir, last week I've seen how posters have come up in different parts of Kolkata where they are openly, Trinamool leaders are saying the next PM should be Mamata. Why not? Bengal has always missed, having somebody in that post. So they are all looking for the Devagowda moment. You know, will Mamata Banerjee become the Prime Minister of Bengal? And I mean, this is that's serious, and Trinamool leaders are serious. I mean, they don't realize how rest of India would shudder to even to think of that possibility. Mamata as PM. I mean, but then there are people who feel that she's the best person, because probably the best way to deal with chaos is to create more chaos.
Chaos theory. Sir, let's go. The last request from my side to you. Pawar's best moment to become the prime minister came in 1991 post Rajiv Gandhi assassination. The way I remember it, there were three contestants. The third one was very weak, Arjun Singh. The second one was Sharad Pawar, and the first one was PV Narsimha Rao. And Narsimha Rao had almost gone into reclusion. He was going to become sannyas, and then he was pulled back from there, and he was brought into Delhi. And tell us what happened, sir, because many other observers at that point of time said Sharad Pawar had got his ground game completely set up. He knew whom to bribe, whom to get in case there was a vote, so that people will vote for him as the leader of Congress and hence the Prime Minister of Congress. How did Tatagaru win that battle?
Sir, Narsimha Rao, I remember you correctly said that he had addressed a press conference in Delhi, which I had attended as chairperson of the manifesto committee. He released the manifesto and packed up, and he said he's shifting to Hyderabad. Then Rajiv Gandhi's assassination happened. And after the elections, as you mentioned, there was a lot of jostling who should be. But Arjun Singh, being, who had positioned himself and was very keen, somehow he should be given a chance. And being the fact that there is what is called in Delhi politics also, you have uh, a Thakur phenomena, a caste phenomena, where communities play a big role in the sense the networks like Arjun Singh, VP Singh, Digvijay Singh, all these leaders who come from the Rajput community, they have a strong affinity no matter which party they are, and they always try to lend support if they can. Similarly, people talk of a caste network which is there in the bureaucracy and elsewhere, where they do feel that if one of them can occupy a place of importance, so all these networks would work. But two things went against. I would say Narasimha Rao was chosen by a process of elimination, and Sonia Gandhi had a role in that, because when Sharad Pawar was very active, it is the rest Arjun Singh and others who went and conveyed to her, look, you cannot trust Sharad Pawar. Because Sharad Pawar's record in the way he dumped the Vasant Dada Patil and switched over to Janata Party side. Similarly, in 88, he dumped again the opposition and came over when Rajiv Gandhi's appeal. So there were other leaders who kept on telling Sonia Gandhi, and within them they formed a kind of, I would say, a caucus to say, look, anybody but Sharad Pawar. Similarly, sir, there was another caucus which was against Arjun Singh, because Arjun Singh was always distrusted by Rajiv Gandhi. Though, he was even Congress vice president under Rajiv Gandhi, and he was very assertive. And somehow the Rajiv Gandhi is to ensure that he got some role. And finally, they eased him out by sending him to Punjab. So every challenge was given to Arjun Singh to be away from Delhi. You take over Punjab and manage the post-militant period. So this is how Arjun Singh also came under the scanner of being always a person who could not be trusted, who is shrewd. And ultimately, it was felt that Narsimha Rao is a very soft person, is a very decent human being. He would be the best bet. And that is how Narsimha Rao got the chance. And Narsimha Rao himself did not expect it. But then nobody realized that Narsimha Rao is soft, is gentle, is a man of, I would say, great calmness, a man who always thinks his actions twice. And sometimes he doesn't do anything if the situation requires. I mean, He was a very unique prime minister we had, and if necessary, he can be silent. If necessary, he can articulate the way Vajpayee would do. And I remember, sir, when because in the Lok Sabha, the press gallery is just above the prime minister's desk. When the Lok Sabha is in session, when you peep from the top, which we reporters can, you can see what the prime minister is doing. And I have often seen Prime Minister Narsimha Rao with a pencil in his hand, always playing that game, that plus and zero, crossing. And he would
Just to
play.
keep your mind sharp. Yeah.
Yeah, and he would himself, put plus at one place, put zero at one place. It's a simple thing which we play. I don't know what the game is called.
Right.
And he would constantly do that.
Sir, it's called tic-tac-toe.
Oh, tic-tac-toe. So, and he would keep on doing that, which means I'm sure at the time he was thinking of Hawala scandal, who should be fixed, who should be unfixed. And over a period, Sonia Gandhi began to fear Narsimha Rao. She probably thought the way he's going about fixing his potential rivals, will he fix me in Bofors? That was the biggest fear that, which created a gulf between Narsimha Rao and Sonia Gandhi. And people who missed the bus, people like Arjun Singh, they used to fill her ears with all kinds of things about Narsimha Rao. Now, sir, coming back to Sharad Pawar, now Narsimha Rao knew the potential, the potency of Sharad Pawar to create problems, just as you knew the potency of Arjun Singh. So Arjun Singh was given a portfolio of human resources development. A man who thought he would be made home minister, but Narsimha Rao was not willing to trust him with any other post other than HRD. Now Sharad Pawar was made a defense minister. And Sharad Pawar was told, look, you are occupying the same position which one of your mentors occupied, YB Chavan. YB Chavan had also been a defense minister under Indira Gandhi. So he has been finance minister, so a tall leader from Maharashtra, you should handle defense. Sir, finally, but being a defense minister here, and then Pawar's interest always lay in Maharashtra politics. He was constantly creating problems for the Chief Minister Naik, who was then Congress Chief Minister in Maharashtra. And finally, when the riots happened, the post Babri Masjid, when violence happened in Maharashtra, Narsimha Rao called Sharad Pawar and told him, you are the best person to handle Maharashtra. And that is how Pawar was eased out from here and sent to Maharashtra. So that is the story of how Pawar was kept at bay by a person like Narsimha Rao. And sir, mind you, when the Babri Masjid demolition happened, Sharad Pawar even got his military intelligence people to film the whole episode. And they were all hoping this is one good moment where they can, get Narsimha Rao to resign. But Narsimha Rao refused to play any game with these people. That's another story. Even Arjun Singh, sir, Arjun Singh's moment, people often say, if only Arjun Singh had resigned on the issue of Babri Masjid demolition, perhaps it could have created a situation where Narsimha Rao could not have continued. But then Narsimha Rao was heading a minority government, because that time the Congress won the 91 elections with 233 seats or odd, if I remember right. And
yes, yeah,
the rest of the support was given by Dr. Subramanian Swamy, who organized the entire numbers for Narsimha Rao.
Jharkhand Mukti Morcha.
Jharkhand Mukti Morcha, Ajit Singh. Then you had Ram Lakhan Yadav. There were others, who came from the Janata Dal splinter groups. That is how the number was made. So people felt if they were to disturb Narsimha Rao, then the coalition would be in trouble. Rather, the government would be in trouble. So that is how, as a flashback, I can see how Narsimha Rao managed.
Well, viewers, I urge you to buy my new book that will be out very soon. And this is a fictional depiction of what happened in 1992 onwards up until now. And a lot of the story that Shekhar said today, it was in my mind to sort of set the stage for many of you to have a lot of questions about how these things happen. who has all party people in any party, they all have daggers. It's always hidden. And so anybody in power has enemies from within and without. Without he can predict, but within he cannot predict. That is where the challenge is. Sir, one other thing, Telugu dailies, Telugu magazines used to always characterize P.V. Narsimha Rao when he was the Prime Minister as Apara Chanakya. That means he's like, very, very more than even a Chanakya in the way he used to, handle things. One of the things I heard about is that he never went to see Sonia Gandhi as Prime Minister, not even once.
Yes, I think after the first couple of months he was in office, probably had one or two meetings. After that, he didn't see any necessity of consulting her, and that probably Sonia Gandhi also being a greenhorn in politics, because she had come in. I mean, she was just Rajiv Gandhi's assassination had
A
left her
grieving
completely.
widow. Yeah.
Yeah, and she
Yeah.
was in a state of shock. So it needed for a while to. But then there were others who were trying to feed her with fears that, look, PM is not coming and talking to you. You are the real source of strength. Then also, sir, then PM had few people to go in between. He would
Potedar.
send somebody. Yeah, he would send. Fotedar was there. He had Hansraj Bharadwaj, who is to also carry back and forth messages on where matters. He had to. He used to send so many people. I mean, ministers were. You had Natwar Singh. Natwar Singh, he also used to carry messages between those two leaders. And of course, at that time, even R.K. Dhawan was around. Of course, R.K. Dhawan had fallen out of favor post that Indira Gandhi's assassination. But then these were the people with whom the messages was carried. Of course, the other group, you had Arjun Singh, you had Sheila Dikshit, and they went on to even split the party and form Congress T, if you remember. Finally, Arjun Singh left the party at the fag, and when the Narsimha Rao's term was ending. But Narsimha Rao himself, sir, the whole thing was, as they used to say, that he had Jatakam of all the Congress leaders. That is, he had a horoscope of
Kundli. Yeah.
or horoscope of all these people. So he knew everybody's, and once he had become Prime Minister, so there was an authority in him, which the Congress leaders always used to would always be in a state of fix, because they would never knew what the Prime Minister was thinking, Narsimha Rao was thinking. So that added to, I would say, and then his approach was also a kind of, look, for instance, take the case of P. Chidambaram, where the Fairfax shares matter came up, and he was insisting. Chidambaram was insisting he would resign, and he wanted to resign. And I remember that episode too, sir, when Chidambaram, that time he was a Minister of State, and the cabinet meeting was going on, and Chidambaram wanted to consult Narsimha Rao before releasing his offer of resignation. It was an offer of resignation. And when he went the Prime Minister after the cabinet meeting and said, look, I want to, say that I want to come clean. Narsimha Rao just nodded his head. But then when he realized that Chidambaram is going to make a hero out of himself of this, he sent message to Rashtrapati Bhavan. Then R. Venkatraman was the president. And R. Venkatraman, who is a early riser and a person who goes to bed early, he was woken up by Secretary P. Murari and told that a resignation is coming, because PM got forwarded that letter. And Rashtrapati Bhavan announced that the president is pleased to accept the resignation of Chidambaram on the advice of the Prime Minister. Even resignations are accepted with lot of pleasure, sir. Even political resignations by the president.
Yes.
Because that is the official language.
All this stuff, what happened at that time, how this is a fictional book, but I've connected the dots to the best of my capacity. For example, 2000, the millennium is being ushered into India, right? The world, everybody is talking about a new millennium. There's a Y2K problem and all that. India was like, because 160 odd people were taken hostages, and that is a very sad saga as to how the ISI thought that they could get away with it, because they had got a bloody nose in Kargil just a month a few months ago by an interim government of Vajpayee. Here it was an elected government. As to why they got away with, practically murder, because they actually killed one Indian American citizen, I think, and just to prove the intent. And there's a story in itself, and that's what is in my next book, Paper in, Money Out. Don't forget to watch it, or don't forget to read it. It's coming to you very soon. I just wanted to set the stage for you. See, you need to understand politics the way it is played out in India. And as we go along, I'll probably pull in Shekharji for his own inputs on various things. So thank you once again, Shekharji. And now let's take some questions. It took a little longer today, but I think viewers, you understand. You need to know your history. You need to understand how things played out in the past, because you will see that history repeats itself again. Questions, please. Yes, Akki has been discussed already at length. Akki is going to be the future Chief Minister of Delhi. Jairam Gopalan Iyer. In the world, the winner sets the agenda. Do you think this theory works throughout history?
No, sometimes the winner sets the agenda, but sometimes the agenda gets set by itself. And sometimes people choose the agenda. I mean, all the three possibilities we have seen in terms of current politics. Of course, this time, one thing that is coming across frequently is the Prime Minister in the last couple of months has exuded tremendous confidence, citing his own performance, citing the efforts that have been put by his government to bring about changes. And some of those efforts have borne fruit, some are in the pipeline. And we have seen the Prime Minister giving that kind of, I would say, inspiration to the party leaders and party workers and cadre. Look, this is an election that we won't lose. So work harder, get a larger mandate, and prove the point. So that's what we saw when he inaugurated that Bharatiyam auditorium of the new Pragati Maidan complex, which is to be the venue of G20. There also he spoke about India, in his time as Prime Minister, in the next 5 years, will reach that place, the third place in terms of size of the economy. And same thing he repeated in Parliament when he handled the no confidence vote. And again from Red Fort address on August 15. The Prime Minister said, look, I'm going to be back here. In 2014, I got a mandate for change. And that kind of mandate gave me the courage to incur the change. In 2019, you saw my performance. That's why you gave me a larger mandate. And back next year on August 15, 2024, I'll be here. I'll be here with my report card to what has happened, where we are headed, and what we are going to do in the next 5 years, next 10 years. So that kind of confidence is to be seen against whoever is going to lead the alliance, in case it is in a position at a striking distance from government. So that is what is, and all the time we are seeing leaders are in denial. No need of a leader face to be projected, no need of any leadership to be exhibited. We are all a collective, anybody but Modi. But the kind of emotions or the negative emotion they feel towards Modi, that I don't think the people at large feel so much. Yes, this is not an easy election. That's very clear. Sir, notwithstanding the Prime Minister showing confidence, everybody in the party, Prime Minister included, knows this is going to be a very, very tough election. Because 10 years is a long period. You can no longer be very confident that everybody still buys what you are saying or your vision. So it's not an easy one. But at the same time, when you are going to look for an alternative, it has to be an alternative that is credible, that people are going to visualize whom are we bringing in. If nothing unites them other than ED, CBI, or corruption, that is going to be difficult. That is why, sir, the fact that the Prime Minister even said, what are the three hurdles to our great future? He mentioned corruption. Notwithstanding the real politics you are seeing, where they say people from there come here to save themselves from investigation. One is corruption. The second he mentioned is dynastic politics. And the third he mentioned was appeasement. Now, this people will say is again giving boost to Hindutva, things like that. But then appeasement is a reality. And appeasement need not be just of a particular community. We are also seeing an appeasement of particular caste kind of politics. Because even caste, the so-called the talk of caste, survey, cost, this is all back to see that somehow you can have a Mandal 3.0. So that is how you can counter Kamandal. So therefore, I think this is going to be a very, very difficult election for all sides. But the first test will be Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, and Chhattisgarh. That's going to set the tone.
Yes, indeed. Shekharji, a request to you to keep the answers a little bit short because we have a fair amount of questions to go. Venkatraman Narayan wants to know what is the status of the liquor scam and Kavitha arrest?
Yes, that's a question everybody is asking. Will Kavitha be arrested or Kavitha will not be arrested? Or will it happen closer to elections? But one thing is there. Suddenly you find the guns on the KCR side have gone silent as far as the Prime Minister is concerned. So you can imagine how everybody is speculating. But, sir, the other day in the Lok Sabha, we saw Bandi Sanjay Kumar speak on the no confidence motion. He went hammer and tongs at KCR. And some of it was, beyond parliamentary acceptability. But there he was in full form.
Well, Kavitha is becoming a kahani, so we'll wait and see. Venkatraman Narayan again, BJP communication and media management needs to improve and be much more aggressive to counter the DOT alliance and Congress in particular. Your views, sir?
Well, they have always been aggressive, but they need to be more sharper and avoid mistakes, be more factual, because always it bounces back. I don't want to cite instances where, they try to pin down the Congress on certain things, but then it backfired because there were factual errors and factual mistakes. That's something they should avoid. But the ultimate, answer to Congress is the Prime Minister himself. So as and when occasion happens, the Prime Minister is there to counter the Congress, whatever the Congress is trying to say.
Next question, please. Rahul Rathod wants to know, does urban middle class vote less in assembly elections compared to Lok Sabha, where the constituency is large and because of this, BJP is having a hard time in state elections than Lok Sabha? Your views, sir?
Well, urban middle class plays an important role in the parliamentary elections, no doubt, because some of our constituencies are, in the cities, some of the larger constituencies. But at the same time, sir, state election always there are problems concerning the state. The state issues, local issues play a bigger part. But when it comes to parliamentary elections, like for instance, I have heard people from Rajasthan tell me, look, that Ashok Gehlot cannot be easily defeated because some of his welfare programs have worked. But at the same time, when it comes to Lok Sabha elections, an average voter in Rajasthan would vote for Prime Minister Modi. And Rajasthan is apart from few cities, the rest is all spread out in the rural areas.
Next question, please. Pawan Kishore again. Namaskaram, sir. Ashoka University drama now catching the eyes of mainstream media like NDTV and TOI. Is there any left toolkit in the making? They initially failed to get attention with research paper.
So that research paper was also written with a lot of ifs and buts and with lot of disclaimers, but trying to prove, or rather trying to suggest rather strongly, that if BJP has done well in 2019 and if the margin is very narrow, it means there is some manipulation. Now, this is, if you look at this way, in places where opposition win, can we extend that theory there? But some efforts will be made, I'm sure, that if Modi were to get a better mandate, a larger mandate, the losers always look for excuses. They say EVM bahana. People previously blamed EVM, but if EVM is also giving you result in Karnataka and Himachal Pradesh, you can't blame it. So you will have people who will come with theories, and sometimes there is overreaction. Now these theories, they have. This is all. I always feel such theories are propounded by people who are unwilling to accept that there are people who strongly vote for the BJP. And in today's electoral battles, margins are often narrow, sir. You seldom get record-making sweep kind of in a constituency. There are very few constituencies where people will win with large margins. But to deduce from that, that if the margins are very, very narrower, that means there is a manipulation. But and basically hinting that probably EVMs were manipulated. But I don't think people at large would accept such theories. Anyway, those who propound those theories, and they will have to defend themselves. And definitely there are people who are challenging those theories. And what is happening in these so-called private universities? I mean, it is for these universities to explain. But I don't think a person, wishes to stay on or go away has any got to do with a narrative that opposition has always sought to, you know, push forward. It is that the dissent is not tolerated, people are removed. But then that doesn't stop people with coming with such theories in the name of academic deduction or research.
Sir, one question I forgot to ask you. When you said that Fadnavis is going to contest Lok Sabha from Nagpur, what about Nitin Gadkari?
Exactly. That is what is, and both are blue-eyed boys of the sun. So therefore,
Yes.
so that's an open question. And already there are indications that I get to hear that Gadkari ji probably is being sounded. Look, he should take care of his health, and there is a chance that, because after all, if Gadkari, a personality like Gadkari, will not contest from Nagpur. So even last time, the challenge was tough for Gadkari in Nagpur. And that time, some people who are supporters of Gadkari felt, look, it is probably the official BJP which is trying to create problems. I'm not sure whether these allegations are true. But Gadkari could still be there. Maybe he could be accommodated. He may come through Rajasthan if this is true, because they are all in the realm of speculation. And you're going to see such speculation, in the run up to the Lok Sabha elections.
Next question, please. Anshuman Singh wants to know, why is Rahul Gandhi nominated in Standing Committee of Defense? What's the big picture?
So he was always a member there, sir. He was a member there, and there is nothing new in that, because the committee has composition both from the ruling party and the A party. So I mean, it is his interest also, because probably if he's in the defense, he can raise this India-China border issue.
Right.
And you get the privilege of getting a special briefing, from the defense officials.
Next question, please. Akhil Naggahalli Sridhar wants to know, sir, what do you think will happen in the third term? Will Modi step down? If so, who will take charge, Amit Shah or any other candidate?
Sir, this is a completely an open issue, because those who are good at making guesses, they keep saying, look, Modi may continue for a couple of years or more, and then he may step aside, and then. But I'm not sure that this is going to happen exactly, because Prime Minister has several tasks in his mind. He has already spoken about it. The last meeting he had with the Union Council of Ministers, the entire Council of Ministers, who are given a briefing explaining what are the challenges ahead, particularly 2024 and afterwards, and what we are supposed to do, what kind of preparations necessary. That shows that Prime Minister intends to stay long till he feels that he has accomplished what he had set out to accomplish in 2014. So it will be too early to speculate. And by then, we will have to look at what kind of leadership. Say, if it is somewhere we are talking about the period of 2027 or 2028, we will have to see, because Uttar Pradesh will have an election in 2027. Now, after that, will Yogi continue there, because he would have done 2 terms? So Yogi is among those names that are favored by a lot of BJP rank and file. But I do not know what kind of scenario will prevail then, and how Yogi would move forward, and who are the new leaders. But as of now, you can see the kind of burden that Amit Shah has taken upon himself, both in working out the BJP's election machinery, as well as the load he takes in the government. That goes to show that he is set to play a very significant role in 24 and afterwards.
Let's make this the last question, Purnimas. Ask Shekhar Iyer, for Dr. Rizwan Ahmed, PM Modi should be in power until 2024, not 2029. What does Mr. Iyer think of this? I agree with Dr. Rizwan Ahmed.
Well, sir, the people of this country would want Modi ji to continue for a longer time. I mean, those who back him tremendously, because they feel a lot of changes that have happened so far They require continuation, they require no disruption, and you need a stability in the government, and you need a leadership that is now being recognized world over. So things should continue. But Prime Minister himself, Modi himself, may not be willing to stay that long. He would rather take, I feel, since I've interacted with him, that he would not like to be seen as who is sticking along, like Deng Xiaoping, or like Deng Xiaoping, or like Xi Jinping. I mean, I don't see a scenario where he would want to, but definitely, he would like to better the record of Nehru. So one can imagine if Nehru's record means it has to be more than 17, 18 years.
Thank you so much, Jagdish Yellapu, and that's a very nice donation, generous. Thank you very much. Sir, we bring to close today's episode at this point of time. I would have liked to see more people watch it, but we will take what we got. And viewers, always please like our videos and share them and subscribe to our channel if you have not already done so. Shekharji, I'll see you again, or we will see you again on Saturday at 10 p.m. Namaskar.
Namaskar.